This is a presentation named Ethical Dilemma in Acme Corporation. Acme Corporation was having an ethical dilemma because the sales department was allowing unethical practice to occur that one of the salesperson was providing gift to customers in order to make sales. Some of the people were calling it kickback. In order to understand this ethical dilemma, we're going to look at it through two different ethical theories. One of them is the utilitarian theory, and the other one is the virtue theory. The utilitarian theory, it is based on the outcome, not on the act of a particular action. It is also based on greater happiness for everyone. And according to Moreland, it is also based on no moral act. According to the utilitarian theory, the most important part is the result of an action, not what leads to that action. So if the result of an action is greater happiness, then the utilitarian theory allows that to happen. According to the investigation, the salesperson provided 4 different reasons why he provided gift to customers in order to make sales. His first reason that he stated was that he needed the money to pay for his son's drug treatment to save his life. His second reason that he said was a statement made from his boss to do whatever it takes to land a big fish. His third reason was that his action didn't hurt anybody. And the fourth reason was that his decision to provide a gift was not stated in the company's policy, so therefore he didn't do anything wrong. According to the utilitarian theory, the salesperson did do what it was right because his decision resulted in greater happiness for his family. Also, his decision resulted in greater happiness for his boss. And since the gift didn't hurt anybody, it only provided happiness for the company because it resulted in larger sales for the company, producing high record profit with a relationship that is expected to last more than 10 years. But the company is facing an ethical dilemma because allowing that actions to happen, it will affect the company in long terms. For example, the company faces long-term effect because it affects the company's culture by allowing that behavior to happen among employees. The company's culture gets damaged. Also, the values and practice gets damaged, and that leads to a strategy and vision of the company to get obstructed. The CEO decides to make his decision to fix the problem in 6 different steps. He first investigates thoroughly exactly what happened without leaving any evidence behind. He also decides to get an insight from everyone in the department to make sure no similar practice are being held in the company. In his third step, he interrogates the salesperson to find out if his excuses are legitimate. Also, he decides to find out why this ethical problem occurred in the first place. After that, he decides to discipline the salesperson for his behavior. And lastly, he decides to make adjustments in the company's policy for this company never to happen again. The CEO makes his decision through the virtue theory. The virtue theory is the ability to manage the situation when facing ethical dilemmas. According to Fisher, He enumerates different virtues that involves the virtue theory. For example, wisdom, courage, justice, generosity, and sincerity. The CEO demonstrates to have wisdom by approaching the situation in a thoughtful way. He also demonstrates to have courage and justice by judging the salesperson from all points of view. The CEO demonstrates to have generosity by showing consideration for the salesperson by not judging him before running the investigation. He also demonstrates to have sincerity by having confidence in reveal his final decision to the rest of the company. The CEO learns that a new policy needs to be implemented because a new policy is important for the company because it creates the environment in which the company operates. It also defines the behavior that employees must possess in dealing with customers. And lastly, a new policy is important because it allows employees to make better decisions when it comes to ethical dilemmas in the future. The new policy is implemented in three different steps. The first step is the employees are required to speak up if they are aware of unethical practices are being held in the company. The second step, it involves that every employee is allowed to report on ethical practice. Even the lower management to upper management and people in production area, anyone is allowed to report on ethical practice. And lastly, employees in the company will compete fairly with, with without the use of bribes and any other kinds of investments in order to make sales. By having a new policy implemented is important for the company because it will create the conditions to support an ethical behavior among employees. It would also reinforce the better decisions made by the employees. It will also create the framework for adapting to rapid changes that would allow the company to compete in the marketplace among its competitors.